And this morning, let's first get you all the updates you need to know from poll-bound Tamil Nadu. After several rounds of talks, the AIADMK and BJP will finalize their seat-sharing agreement today. Sources said that the BJP will likely get 24 seats in the alliance, of which 3 is to be given to smaller parties. Smaller parties who will get the 3 seats include the Pudiya Tamil Magan. You also have the Devanathan Yadav and Tamilagam Makkal Munnetra Karagam. So the Saffron Party was earlier adamant on seeking 33 seats, but then settled on 25 seats in those areas where it was confident of defeating the opposition DMK-led alliance in the state. Earlier, the AIADMK finalized the seat-sharing agreement with PMK by giving 23 seats to the party. With regards to another NDA ally, the DMDK, the AIADMK is willing to provide 15 seats to the party. There's a big question mark really on whether the DMDK will agree to that. Well, in Tamil Nadu, AIADMK and BJP have held 4 rounds of talks over seat sharing and the stalemate continues. But it's the Sasikala factor that's taken centre stage. The BJP is said to be pushing for a truce between Chinnamma and the EPS faction. Will the two warring factions unite now under the watchful shadow of the BJP? Here are the details.
The BJP is singing the Chinnamma tune. Despite the ruling AIADMK's 100% no to Sasikala's return to the AIADMK, the party is now in a spot of bother, as its ally, the BJP, is said to be batting for an alliance, or at least burying the hatchet between the AIADMK and Sasikala.
Big suspense over Sasikala factor is still prevailing in the state of Tamil Nadu. During the election, seat-sharing talks, BJP is said to have inquired about the hold TTV Dinakaran and Sasikala has over the Deva community votes in the south of the state.
The BJP's apparent endorsement for a truce is for good reason. There's growing worry for the AIADMK that Sasikala could eat into the Tevar vote bank of the party, as Chinnamma belongs to the influential community. She could then have a vote cutter effect which will translate to advantage DMK. And then there's the fact that Sasikala is trying hard to divide the AIADMK ranks and get top leaders over to her side. These are facts that the AIADMK cannot afford to ignore, but so far at least they remain stubborn in their stand that there's no place for Sasikala in the party. Chinnamma, however, seems to be more open to the option. In her recent interactions with supporters, Sasikala has refrained from attacking the AIADMK. Her nephew TTV Dinakaran, however, seems to be banking on some other options for his AMMK.
Thank you so much.
It's also a rumor only, speculation only. Within 2-3 days you will come to know. People know that AMK will give the real Amma's government Tamil Nadu. For that we will work hard and people will support us. Surely we will form the Amma's government.
TTV Dinakaran is reportedly considering other alliance options, but all of them are with a big if, relying heavily on the AIADMK and DMK bungling their own seat-sharing talks. The AIADMK's nagging Sasikala headache isn't going anywhere. And with ally the BJP now proposing a truce, will EPS bury the hatchet with Chinnamma? With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Over to what's happening in poll-bound Bengal. With an alliance with the ISF, there's been a split within the Congress which is out in the open. And amid calls for sweeping organizational reforms and an active party president by a section of Congress leaders known as G23, Rahul Gandhi has made some stunning claims. During his virtual interaction with Professor Kaushik Basu of Cornell University yesterday, the Congress MP said that he was attacked by his own party men because he had pressed for elections in the youth organization and student organization of the party. The former Congress chief further said that democratic elections within the party is absolutely critical, but asked as to why no other party is questioned over its internal democracy. Rahul's remarks assume significance as it comes in the backdrop of a group of 23 very senior party leaders writing to Sonia Gandhi last year demanding a complete overhaul of the party organisation. They came together and held a show of strength in Jammu also over the weekend.
I'm the person who pushed elections in the youth organizations, pushed elections in the student organizations, got serious beating in the press for that. I was literally crucified for doing elections, right? I was attacked by my own party people. So I'm the first person that says, look, democratic elections within parties absolutely critical. But I got a question for you. It's interesting to me that this question is not asked about any other party. Nobody asked the question, why is there no internal democracy in the BJP?
Rahul Gandhi also said that the emergency imposed by late former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was a mistake, and what happened in that period was wrong in this conversation that he had with economist Kaushik Basu.
I think that was a mistake. Absolutely, there was a mistake. And my grandmother said as such.
It's fascinating you're saying this because, I mean, I did think that was dreadful. It should not have happened, the emergency.
Congress veterans are at war over an alliance with Furfura Sharif cleric Abbas Siddiqui's party in Bengal. Senior party leader Anand Sharma has come out to openly question the tie-up, calling it against the core ideology of the Grand Old Party. You then had the Bengal Congress chief Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary responding, saying Anand Sharma has tarnished the image of the party to please his future boss.
सबकी सुने और फिर एक मत बना के कदम उठाएं।
अकेले अलग से अपने मनमानी से कोई काम नहीं करता।
A tie-up with a political outfit headed by a cleric of Furfura Sharif Shrine in Bengal has left the Congress a divided house.
What I am doing, everybody is being communicated to my higher command.
At the two sides of the split are two big guns. Anand Sharma and Congress's face in Bengal, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Anand Sharma, a member of the G23 rebels, first questioned the alliance with the Indian Secular Front led by Abbas Siddiqui. He claimed it goes against the secular values of the party and attacked Adhir Chaudhary for endorsing the tie-up.
Well, what I have said is an expression of my concerns. Not only that I am firmly committed to the Congress ideology, which is inclusive, which is democratic and which is secular, but I am also one of the historians and ideologue of the Congress party. And it has to be taken in that context. There is no politics in this.
Soon Adhir Chaudhary returned fire. He posted a series of tweets naming Anand Sharma and urging his party colleague to get his facts right.
Your party colleague Anand Sharma has today said,
I have already replied.
Why did you get in touch with the ISF? And it should be...
What I am doing, everybody is being communicated to my higher command.
An embarrassed Congress party has tried to play down the controversy.
I think the whole idea of this larger front in Bengal was to create a good political fight against BJP's particularly vitiated brand of politics. Each one of my senior and respected and valued colleagues should join wholeheartedly and unconditionally in that fight together to combat this false propaganda of the BJP.
For the BJP, watching from the sidelines, the controversy has proved to be valuable ammunition to fire at the Congress.
ये जो अलायंस का खेल कांग्रेस पार्टी कर रही है, आज कांग्रेस पार्टी के अंदर भी उसको लेकर एक सुगबुगाहट है और पूरे हिंदुस्तान में कांग्रेस पार्टी में कुछ हो रहा है तो वो कांग्रेस वर्सेस कांग्रेस के अंदर ही लड़ाई हो रही है.
The row couldn't have come at a worse time for the Congress. The party is hit by dissent right in the middle of assembly elections. With the rebels firing another salvo, the party leadership will be worried how it plays out in the election arena. Bureau Report, India Today.
Trinamool Congress MLA Jitendra Tiwari, who quit in December and then returned almost immediately, has finally exited Mamata Banerjee's party just weeks before the Bengal elections. Here's a report on exactly why he decided to dump the TMC now.
আমাদের সকলের প্রিয় প্রাক্তন আসানসোলের মেয়র তথা বিধায়ক জিতেন্দ্র তিওয়ারি মহাশয়
In politics, a lot changes in a span of 24 hours. A Neta vociferously blasts a rival party and the next day joins the very camp he was attacking. In former Trinamool Congress heavyweight Jitendra Tiwari, you will find a classic example of such a leader. On Sunday, Tiwari was on Aaj Tak's Dangal program taking on the BJP with all his might.
बंगाल की जितनी भी महिलाएं हैं, जितनी भी बेटियां हैं, जितनी भी मां बहनें हैं, उन शक्तियों की शक्ति पुंज है ममता बनर्जी.
On Monday, he appeared again on Dangal as a TMC MLA and launched a slew of attacks on the BJP.
आपको बंगाल के बारे में आप बाहर के लिए इसलिए हम आपको बाहर करते हैं. इसलिए हम आपको बाहर करेंगे. आप सीधे बताइए ना, आप उस कंपनी का पता बताइए जहां सब फैले.
But when Tiwari was called again on Tuesday to join the TV debate as a TMC MLA, he refused, saying he was joining the BJP. Tiwari is now a proud member of the Saffron camp, which he had been criticizing for more than 5 years.
যখন তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসে ছিলাম তখন তৃণমূল কংগ্রেসের সৈনিক হিসেবে যে কাজটা আমার মন দিয়ে করা উচিত ছিল সেটা করেছি, কোনো ফাঁকি রাখিনি। আজকে ভারতীয় জনতা পার্টিতে এলাম, এই দলটাও যা দায়িত্ব দেবে, যেভাবে কাজ করতে বলবে, যেভাবে কাজে লাগাবে সেটা করার চেষ্টা করব। আমি তৃণমূলে যতক্ষণ কেউ অফিসিয়ালি এই সব কথা না বলছে, আমি এই ধরনের স্পেকুলেশন জবাব দেবো না।
Jitendra Tiwari is a former mayor from Asansol and was elected MLA from Pandaveshwar on TMC ticket. In December last year, he was on the brink of switching over to BJP along with other prominent leaders of the TMC, accusing Mamata of not allowing party leaders to function. But his entry was objected by a string of BJP leaders, including Asansol MP and Union Minister Babul Supriyo. Within 24 hours of submitting his resignation, Tiwari returned to the TMC after seeking Mamata's forgiveness.
बिल्कुल मैं हेवीवेट नहीं हूँ, बाबुल जी मेरे नेता हैं, सीनियर हैं, मैं उनके साथ मिलकर काम करूंगा।
In the backdrop of slew of desertions jolting the Trinamool Congress, Mamata had recently claimed that only those who are facing cases from the BJP are leaving the party.
सबसे करप्टेड तो बीजेपी है, भाजपा है। सब काला आदमी जाते हैं वॉशिंग मशीन में वॉश होके चला आता है। देखो काला आदमी जाके सादा होके चला आता है, सफेद हो जाता है।
So what changed? Tiwari was reportedly unhappy that his present seat was being taken away from him and the MLA was upset that he was being fielded from another constituency. With Anupam Mishra in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
48 hours after Prime Minister Narendra Modi took the COVID vaccine, there's no end, unfortunately, to all the vaccination politics. The Trinamool Congress has now lodged a complaint with the Election Commission against the use of the Prime Minister's photo, name and message on the vaccination documents. In its complaint, TMC MP Derek O'Brien said that after the polls were announced, the Prime Minister is debarred from publicising his name and claiming credit in this manner through government-run CoWIN platform. The TMC has asked the poll panel to stop Prime Minister from what it terms taking unfair advantage and undue publicity at the taxpayers' cost during the conduct of these elections. An alarming incident has been reported in Karnal in Haryana. 57 students and teachers of the Sainik School in Kunjpura area have tested positive for coronavirus. The school and the hostel, has been declared a containment zone and multiple medical teams have been rushed to the spot. According to the district administration, 390 students and staff members underwent COVID tests after 3 students were initially infected. The students infected are from the 9th to 12th grade and have been quarantined in the premises of the hostel. This incident comes just days before the examinations, which begins on 15th March. The Haryana Education Department had reopened schools for classes 9 to 12 in December last year and classes 3 to 5 from February 24th. Let's get to our special segment this morning on the fight against coronavirus. Here's the good, bad and the ugly news.
Here is the good news of the day when it comes to the vaccination drive and the COVID-19 situation in the country. Finally, it does appear that we are beating vaccine hesitancy. A lot of people are coming forward and are saying that they want the shot against COVID-19. This is indicative because there have been more than 50 lakh registrations on the COVID portal and many people are going in for walk-in registrations, walk-in vaccinations. The government is saying that people are showing a lot of interest. Many netas and political leaders have also come forward and tried to send out a message that the vaccine is safe and have taken the shot against COVID-19. This includes Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan. Here is the bad news of the day. Many more states are continuing to see an upsurge in the number of COVID-19 cases. Cases in Tamil Nadu have plateaued after the centre sent a team, is what the government has said. But Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, even Maharashtra and Kerala continue to worry. Maharashtra, in fact, along with Kerala, is accounting for more than 75% of the total number of cases in the country. And the upsurge is particularly worrisome in both of these states, is what the government has been saying. And here is the ugly news of the day when it comes to COVID-19. Some pictures of B.C. Patil, Minister from Karnataka, getting the vaccine home delivered. Contrast these with pictures coming in from the city of Mumbai, where senior citizens had to stand in long queues in the simmering summer heat, wait for many hours together to get the shot against COVID-19. Brazen display of VVIP culture as B.C. Patil got the vaccine jabs home delivered for himself and his wife, while questions were being raised about whether that is even allowed. Clearly not. You have to go to the vaccination site, just like the Prime Minister of the country did. But this minister got the jab delivered at home, in spite of the fact that many more people are moving to vaccination sites and suffering standing in long queues.
Despite disengagement at Pangong So, here's proof that China cannot be trusted. India Today has accessed nighttime exclusive satellite images, which shows that China continues its build-up in Depsang.
Just days after the pullback at Ladakh's Pangong So, a reminder that the Chinese cannot be trusted. What you're looking at are the latest images of the build-up in Ladakh's Depsang sector to the north. So on the one hand, China agrees to pull back and engage in more dialogue, promising ground tranquility, but continues to mobilize and escalate its presence in another sector. These pictures accessed by India Today from the Taiwandian post in Aksai Chin, facing the Depsang Plains. This is the scene of these disturbing new developments. High-resolution satellite images by US-based space firm Capella Space, captured on February 25th, show the ground reality of how the PLA is maximizing its infrastructure in this area. Chinese troops have brought in their tanks and troops close to Indian positions, and upgraded air defense systems, storages, additional shelters and vehicles. The additional build-ups were first spotted in July last year, just after the clashes between the Indian and Chinese troops in the Galwan Valley. As we zoom closer, the main building of the permanent Chinese post is now surrounded by several temporary camps and shelters. New support buildings, observation posts and towers can also be seen in the images. Temporary shelters with defensive walls and facilities to house additional PLA troops can also be seen. A clear indication that the Chinese are in no mood to move. A closer look at the images will show you the Chinese PLA's construction spree here at this all-weather post. What assumes significance is that the PLA post is situated at a distance of about 24 kilometers from the world's highest airstrip at India's Daulat Beg Oldie in Ladakh.
After the initial disengagement at Pangong Lake, The focus now is on Depsang and other friction points. India has already made it clear to China in previous meetings that it's not just the Pangong Tso, but all across eastern Ladakh where a disengagement needs to take place for further de-escalation and finally de-induction from areas where China has come in. With Ankit Kumar, Abhishek Bhalla in New Delhi for India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.